Welcome to another demonstration of Red Hat Advanced Cluster Security. Today, we're going to be looking at a new feature that was released in ACS 3.71.0 at the beginning of August 2022. If you've logged into ACS recently, if you're familiar with previous versions and you've seen the updated version, you probably notice right away the big change here. And we're going to be talking about the new front-end dashboard. This was an opportunity for us to overhaul the entry point of the product to give you a security overview of the environment, where to go for investigation, and to improve the navigation links to be able to dig deeper into every one of the topics here. Most of the design here was based on customer feedback. What are the kinds of critical security topics that you wanted to see at the dashboard that were the most interest? You'll see that there's some enhanced widgets here that improve upon earlier versions, and some are brand new. So you'll see some factors like the age of images that are new. This is work that's continuing as we migrate the ACS UI to the pattern fly model that Red Hat uses for OpenShift. And those of you who are longtime OpenShift users, you'll see the similarities to the console. One of the simplest changes that we've made is to use the bar at the top to provide you with links to more data. These have always been present, but in previous versions, these were static. So the number of clusters, the number of nodes, they weren't context sensitive and didn't take you here, for example, to the violations page or link you directly into the secrets list that's part of configuration management. And now they do. Sensible change, and we think that you'll enjoy it. Some other options that we've added here at the top include the ability to filter the resources that we're looking at. Previously, the graphs tried to accommodate production and security, the difference between multiple clusters here in a single graph. We've now made that a little bit more explicit as to what you're looking at here. So, if I'm interested in just, my production environment today, I can choose just the production cluster, and then within that, I can choose individual or all namespaces. And so I get a customized view of what I'm looking at here. Down in the widgets themselves, of course, there are also options. Hopefully, most of these are self-explanatory, but we still retain the policy violations categorized here by their severity. We could go into the most recent. Again, this is a link to data that's already here, but it's a convenient way of providing a pre-filtered view of, for example, the high severity vulnerabilities. In the case of the images at most risk, there's a couple of other options here. We heard from customers that vulnerability management, which is a foundational control of container security, really is paramount, that tackling this is the biggest problem out there. And so we're providing some new options here focused on, of course, images. By default here, we think about all vulnerabilities as being important, but if I'm just concerned about fixable CVEs, I can filter down here. These are the CVEs that have upstream fixes, and therefore your development teams should be able to accommodate those dependency fixes into their builds. We're also looking at only active images by default. That means an image that is in use by at least one running deployment. ACS does track both, of course, the active images that are in use, as well as all images that it's ever seen up to a period of time controlled by the retention settings in the product. When I drill down, of course, I get the reports for a particular image. You'll see here that there's a pop-up that gives me the full name. These registry path and image name and tag names can result in pretty long strings. So we think this is a pretty good way for us to display the full name of the images in use. And of course, as you had been able to in the past, you can link down into that. Of course, the dashboard is also there to point out that image contents are not the only thing that impacts risk, right? ACS has been built from the ground up with Kubernetes security in mind, and the idea that a lot of the Kubernetes configuration and topics like network exposure contribute to risk of a deployment. In fact, here at the deployments at most risk, I can go out and click on both the deployment to go and see the actual risk report for this. This is the configuration and runtime activity that contributes to risk. I can also drill down here on the network exposure. I care about whether I have vulnerabilities in exposed services, if that vulnerable deployment has activity that could indicate a threat. And this is a convenient way to get into the network graph to show you specifically those kinds of runtime threats. And then, of course, to use things like the network policy simulator to help create isolation rules for that. So very convenient links. Down at the bottom here, we're introducing on the lower left this aging images graph. Again, configurable, very convenient to show me, how old I have and put them into different buckets. I can actually change these individually. So if I have commitments to fixing things within, 90 days, for example, I can easily do that. The reason we've introduced this here again was customer feedback, right? We know that the age of an image is a proxy somewhat for its security. That images over time, as more vulnerabilities are discovered and disclosed, will have those vulnerabilities, right? It's never a good idea to keep those aging images out that don't get updated, and we wanted to highlight where that risk is coming from. We still have a policy violations by category. We're just making much better use of screen real estate here. We're showing you ordered by default by the total number of vulnerabilities, but we can also look at this based on severity. We can look at it with specific policy life cycles. And we can also hide certain, categories down here. If I don't care as much about the low or the medium right now, I just want to know what the high or critical are, I can control the graph this way. Again, based on customer feedback, the old category arrangement was large and screen real estate, but didn't supply that much information. Lastly, the compliance standards here. This is part of the built-in compliance coverage. Again, similar sorts of options here for controlling what's displayed in the graph, and then links to the appropriate, deep dive on things like HIPAA or PCI compliance. So again, a lot of feedback from customers went into the design of this. You'll see that the widgets are nicely configurable. They're very flexible. This is a little preview of where the UI is going as we take advantage of some of the capabilities of the UI code here. Speaking of feedback, the last thing I'll ask everyone who's watching this is we want your feedback. Future development in the dashboard is only going to happen with the feedback that we get from customers. Are these widgets useful? Do you find the links that they take you to for more context appropriate? Really any kind of feedback and ideas as we bring up new widgets for the dashboard. We want them to be useful. So feel free, come and join us on the Slack channel, StackRox in the CNCF Slack. Or reach out to your Red Hat account teams and provide us with that feedback here, and hopefully see you back soon where those new features are up and running for you. Thank you.